Hi everyone. Over the past 2 months, my team and I have taken all of our in-person programs and adapted them to a virtual environment, from a 1-hour presentation to a 3-month leadership academy. We've been doing virtual trainings for 10 years, but over the past few months, we've realized all of our programs need to be available virtually as well as in person. So I want to share with you 3 steps we've taken that have been really effective for us, because I know many of you are now in the role of taking your in-person programs and transitioning them to virtual. So the first step that we've taken is to go line by line through our content and adapt it from in-person to virtual. So in every situation where we would have said, raise your hand if you've ever experienced this, or turn to the person next to you and talk about how this applies to your work, we now have to stop and think, what are the virtual tools available to recreate this experience? Maybe we'll say, nod your head if this has ever happened to you, and we can see their screens to see them engaged. Maybe we'll say, we're going to do a quick virtual breakout group, and you're going to break into these virtual groups, discuss your experiences, and come back together. And that way, even with 20, 50, 100 people joining us virtually, everyone has a chance to speak up and create connections in those virtual breakout groups. So for every hour of content, it takes about an hour to adapt that program to a virtual setting to make sure it's just as engaging virtually as it is in person. The second thing that we do is plan 2 extra prep calls before the program. The first extra prep call is with our client on their virtual platform to make sure we educate them on how to use those tools and to make sure that we have the right permissions in their settings to run the program ourselves. We then do a separate prep call internally as a training team to make sure we know what we're doing from 1 minute to the next, from one exercise to the next, to ensure a seamless experience so that when we're finally in front of the participants running the training, what they see is a practiced, purposeful experience as opposed to us learning in the moment while they're watching us try to figure it out. And the third thing that we do is to debrief every single program, both with the client and internally as a training team. We ask ourselves 3 questions. First, what went well? How do we make sure it's intentional next time? Second, what didn't work? Was it because of the technology or because of the content? Third, if we were going to run this program again in 1 hour or 1 day, what would we change? What would we do differently? We do pre- and post-program surveys with participants to get their feedback on what worked and what could be improved. And that way, after every single program, we are constantly getting better. And in the past 2 months, I've done on average 1 virtual training every single business day, which means after every program, I'm asking myself those questions. What can get better? What can I do differently? How do I improve? How do I bring in new technologies, which are literally coming online daily? So following that process, my team and I are making sure every single program is thoughtful, purposeful, and better than the one before because of this process. As a result, I am so excited about the virtual trainings and programs that we can run. And if I can help you in any way as you think through how to adapt from in-person to virtual and still have a powerful impact, please let me know. My team and I would love to help.